Hi everyone! Welcome to another video. Valentine's Day is coming up or has already gone. I don't really know when this video is going to go up yet. But I don't really care about Valentine's Day personally. My favorite time of the year for Valentine's Day is the day after when all the candy's half off. That's really all that ever gets me super excited. But I still did want to try something Valentine's themed. I know I just did a pink look, but I thought this time let's do a pink look, but like no gold or anything, just pink, maybe some red, maybe some purple. We'll see. Something that is a little reminiscent of Valentine's Day, also like some early spring vibes. I definitely have a lot of inspiration to do a lot of spring looks really soon, so let's just see what happens. I didn't really like have a super explicit plan, just kind of a general color palette, so we'll try. I'm gonna start off with the Dominique Cosmetics primer. I don't actually know if you can get this anymore. I couldn't find it on the website because I was thinking about getting their spray, but the spray is like gone, so I'm really not so sure. But I really like it for when my skin is really dry because it's super hydrating. You can see on my hand it doesn't move too much, but once I massage it into my face it becomes almost watery. It's actually really cool. I'm not really so sure how they did it, but you can see when I massage it into my skin how it just becomes so dewy and glass-like, and it becomes transparent like a thin water. So it's really hydrating without actually being thick at all, which I think is just so cool. It also leaves my skin feeling a bit tacky, so I personally almost could call this a hybrid between my Cover FX gripping primer, which I like to use when it's humid during the summer, and the Laneige glowy makeup serum. And you can see I kind of am avoiding my nose. I really just take what's left on my fingers and put it on my nose. And I'm also gonna just put extra on my under eye. Anyways, this is definitely a favorite primer of mine, and I kind of wish they had not made it limited edition because I could actually finish this and then I would be sad because there's none left. I'm gonna use contour. I don't really want it to be super warm, so I'm gonna be using the Match Stix in the shade Amber. Looks like that. I didn't really want a super warm bronzer, and because I haven't set my face yet, I didn't want to use powder. And so this is really the only true cool contour that I have that's in a cream formula, and I do really like it. I know a lot of people don't really like the formula very much, and I will say if you like use the stick and just draw it on your face, you're gonna be sitting here for the next half an hour blending it. So I just put it onto a brush, and then I'll use the brush and I will dab it on very lightly. The denser the brush, the better. Mine is kind of a little on the fluffier side, but I have a bunch of brushes I need to clean, so all my favorite brushes are currently in the wash. You can see I'm kind of just very slowly building up a very slight shadow. I'm gonna also shade my jaw, as usual. I'm mostly patting so that I don't disturb my foundation. I basically stay away from my forehead, as always. I do really want to get Amber in the cream formula so that I have the same shade in the cream because I do really like it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The upside to these matchsticks is I know the formula is definitely super finicky, but they last forever. So even though they're a cream, I just honestly have not even, this formula has not even changed on me. And I've had it for almost 2 years now. So that is the upside, whereas the other ones before everything kind of shut down, I was able to, you know, look at them in store and everything, and they're so much more creamy. I feel like it would dry out on me before I would get much use out of it. That's why I like love cream and liquid products, but I don't actually own that many just because I just don't feel like I'd get much use out of them, and then they would dry out and I would just be sad. I'm also gonna go ahead and use this to contour my nose just a little bit. I try to avoid contouring the actual side of my nose. Like, I know I have a really wide tip, but contouring the sides of my tip does absolutely nothing but draw more attention to it. So I only contour underneath to kind of lift my nose a little bit. And then sometimes I'll put a little on the nostrils, like what's left. And then I just try and make it look narrower by using highlighter. Like I add a tiny dot of highlighter. Honestly, like to everybody who tried all those videos about how to like fake a nose job and stuff, it's a lie. Like it looks good on camera, but it'll look awful in real life. And like I don't not have a nose bridge, it's low, but like it is right there, so I can't emphasize it. I almost forgot to put under eye concealer on again, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that so that I don't have to do it after my eyeshadow like the last video. I feel like this is gonna dry out on me before I make even like a super noticeable dent because there's so much product in here and you need so little. I try to focus on like the lower part where my shadow is most prominent, and then I'm trying to kind of avoid going all the way up to my lash line. That way I can avoid creasing. Okay, so now my under eyes are looking much fresher. I'm gonna use the LOUISE eyeshadow base. I'm gonna be using some pretty heavy color today, I think, so an opaque base is probably the way to go. Like, this tube is honestly like massive. Like, I will never use up all of it. I find I have a harder time applying it with a brush than I do just with my fingers. But I always see everyone using their brush to apply it, so I thought I would try it, but I don't know. It looks streaky. I am going to be using the NATASHA DENONA Love Palette, which seems pretty appropriate. I did not get anything from the mini Love collection. I do really like everything that was in it, but money. So I have this. I got this last year, and I really haven't used it much at all just because I don't usually use these colors. But especially with the Menagerie Cosmetics Flight Club palette coming out at the end of February, I really want to give myself a chance of, you know, really getting into these kinds of colors so that when I get that palette, I can use it and stuff. So I'm kind of thinking, at first I was like, oh, I guess I should stick to the pinks, but honestly there's a red and there's all these purples. So I guess I'll just try and do something kind of fun. So I'm gonna first go into Valentine, and I'm just gonna use this to kind of set the primer a little bit. I don't usually work on set primer, but I'm wondering if I might need to, if that would make things easier for me. I just realized I forgot to do my brows. It might be better to do it after because then I can see how thick I need to make them. Okay, I'm gonna build on that with the shade Intense, which is just right next to Valentine. I'm just gonna kind of build it up slowly while I still think about what I want to do. So I applied it to my lower lash line as well, and I think I'm gonna like not try my best to not make it too much pinker than this. But I'm gonna go back in with Valentine and just continue to blend out the look. I feel like it looks too short, like I really want everything blown up to my brow bone. You can't really tell on camera, but I definitely took the shadow up much higher now. So the only purples in this palette are all kind of on the deeper side of things, but I guess we'll just give it a try and see what happens. So I'm gonna go in with, I think I'll go in with Trust, which is up here. I'm thinking I'll do some kind of like halo eye, so I'll lay it in the outer corner and then I'll lay it down in the inner corner as well. Before I build it up too much, I'll go ahead and put it on my inner corner as well. And this is the hard part where I have to kind of make it, if I take it all the way down to my true inner corner, it makes my eye look really strange, so I kind of have to bring it up a little higher. I'll be putting down an inner corner highlight, so that usually helps a lot. This is actually a concealer brush from e.l.f., but I don't really think it's that great for concealer. It's better for packing. And I'm gonna use this to really start packing on eyeshadow. Okay, so it's definitely packing on really well. Okay, and now I'm gonna just kind of put the same colors on my lower lash line. And again, I'm leaving the middle open. So you can see it definitely looks a little bit more dramatic now. I'll have to add some pink back in now. So you can see my lower lash line is kind of asymmetrical. I put a little too much on the left side, so I'm gonna have to kind of go back in on the other side. Now I'm going to take the shade Giving, which is this shade right here. It's like pink with a little bit of like a purple flecks through it, it looks like. I was thinking about doing like a standard pink and with a pink with the gold, but I said no gold. I'm just gonna pack it on the center of my eyelid. As usual, I use a brush first just to establish where I want it, and then I'll use my finger to build the intensity. And you can see once the shimmer is added, it really helps with meshing the whole look together. So now that I've placed it, I'm going to go ahead and use my finger to really pick it up and press it on my eyelid. You can see that it really applies much more opaque with the finger than with the brush, although I still need to actually open up that glitter glue that I got. I'm sure it would work well over like a glitter glue or something, but... And I really am just applying it all over, all the way up to my brow bone. And now you can see that my eyelids look a lot shinier, a lot more metallic, definitely looks a lot better. I am now going to take the shade Transparent, and I'm using that on my lower lash line. I think I'll go ahead and use it on my inner corner as well. This one is definitely more of just kind of a standard metallic, whereas the other one I just used had a lot more of those, had a lot much more of a sparkly effect. So you can see once the inner corner highlight is added, it definitely looks a lot less harsh. And I don't really like how low the purple is going, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that transparent color kind of on top of it to kind of tone it down. So now it's a lot less obvious. So I kind of want to add a little bit of extra glitz to my eyelid. Like, this is pretty, but I kind of want there to be a more sparkly effect. So I'm gonna go into the So Jaded palette with KathleenLights, and I'm gonna take what is actually a Super Shock shadow up here. It's called Diamond, and I'm gonna use that to just top off my eye look. Just adds a little bit of extra dimension. So this is the eye look complete. It's okay actually. I'm not like the super happiest with it ever, but I guess that's fine. I'm gonna do my eyebrows now because I totally didn't do them earlier. I'm just using the shade Blackout since my eye look is so intense and I still have the teeniest bit of pencil left. So now you can see my face is looking a lot more structured, and I made my brows thicker today because my eye look is so intense. I think it looks fine, honestly. So that's the eye look. I'm now going to add on a pair of false lashes. So I'm just going to be curling my eyelashes. So I know I don't usually wear mascara if I have lashes, but I kind of have noticed when I look through my photos, I can still kind of tell that I've got like 2 layers of lashes, so I'm going to use just a little bit of mascara, like just a little bit, that way it can still like be removed at the end of the day without taking like an hour. I'm literally just going to apply enough that the curl stays up. I don't really like this. This is the Volume and Curl mascara, but it's not like the super waterproof version. I thought it was, but it's not. The wand is very different and the formula is not the same, and I honestly don't think this does anything really. Like, it fixes my curl in place, but it offers no real volumizing or lengthening that I like. So like, I guess if you want to look like you're not wearing any mascara, then you'd like this. If I'm gonna go through all that effort of putting some on, I kind of want it to show up. So for an instance like this where I'm just using it to hold a curl, it's fine. I'm not really zigzagging it this time, I'm just brushing straight through. See how my lashes hardly show up? And then I'm just gonna use my usual lower lash mascara. I definitely need to throw this out and buy a new one, and I'm not gonna be repurchasing this I'm gonna probably go back to the Too Faced. Damn, girl. That one gave like an even better finish. And if I get a lash lift, which I hope to do after I can get a vaccination, then I will be able to use it on my upper lashes and it will look so good. So that's my lower lashes done. Honestly, doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna use these lashes. These I know for sure are from the House of Lashes and Patrick Ta collab. It's the most natural pair. As usual, like I've mentioned before, I'm just in the process of using up all of my lashes that are open, and then I'll start getting into the tradition of keeping my packaging. I've already used up a couple pairs that are now super grody, so I'm definitely making some headway into my collection. Looking forward to being able to buy more. I just really like lashes, like they're so much fun for me. Okay, so I ended up having to put this lash on like 3 times because each time the glue was like not dry enough and then it just fell off, or like I waited too long or something, like Okay, so now the lashes are on finally, and I think some eyeliner will help make this look a lot better. I don't really have a good liquid eyeliner, as I've mentioned before, so I'm back to using gel eyeliner, but this Sigma one is honestly pretty mediocre, so I don't really recommend it. I got it as a free gift with purchase. I'm kind of going over my lash band and then on the outer half, and then I draw the wing out. And I'm not doing it super long because the focus is on the eyeshadow. So now you can see I have just very little baby wings, and it's really just to kind of elongate my eye and add some definition at the end. Like that. So moving on to the rest of the face, I haven't set my face yet because I was going to be using this Love palette, which look, it's sparkly. You can see the packaging's really cute. There's actually only one cream in here. It's this one, but the cover covers both, kind of like the Bloom palette. It's not like the Bloom palette where the blush was a lot more intense. It's a lot more subdued, so I do really like the Bloom one though. I need to use it again. I haven't used it in a while. I'm like alternating between the side with product on it and the side with no product to kind of get the blend that I want. I'm really just spreading it widely all across my face. It has this really nice shimmer to it as well. It's not glittery at all, it just has such a nice shimmer to it. But it doesn't actually look like you put on a metallic or shimmery blush, if that makes any sense. So this cheek is a little more intense, so I'm just gonna dab at it more with a clean side. So it doesn't actually have much of a pigmented base to it, it's just a blush topper. And then lastly, there's either the diamond powder or this over here, and I'm gonna use this because it kind of matches a little bit better, I think. Well, no, I'm gonna use this just because my eye look, that shimmer kind of had the similar pink flakes in it. I've actually not used this diamond powder yet before, so we'll see. Oh yeah, that adds like a pretty interesting kind of color to everything. I've only ever used the other highlighter on the other side. I guess I just have really glowy cheeks now, which I think is fine. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of it and put it on the inner corners of my eyes to kind of unify everything. Yeah, it definitely has a very glittery effect, so if you're not into glittery highlighter, don't use this. And then just because it's so glittery, I am going to take the other highlighter and I'm going to use that on my nose. It's kind of got like a gelée formula, so it melts onto your finger really well. Yeah, it's showing up as like just dark pigment on my nose. I'm gonna just try and kind of diffuse it out with this brush so that you don't see it as much. It's a little less obvious now. I definitely will have to use this carefully. It's too dark for my nose. I do need to cover it up a little bit, so I'm going to take this Pink Haze from a Dominique Cosmetics highlighter palette. Okay, so we had a couple of ups and downs, but so far this look is coming together. We will get there. I'm using my M Cosmetics liner in Fawn. And I think I'm gonna try this color from 3CE. It is called Cheeky Rose. As the name would imply, it's a very nice rose color. Maybe a little too bright. I know 3CE gets a lot of hype online, especially with how beautiful their packaging is, but I will say their actual lip formulas are, their matte ones especially, are honestly kind of drying. I mean, the colors are so pretty that you're kind of willing to forgive it. Because some of the colors that they have in their lineup you don't find in any other brand. So the result is that the colors are actually really hard to do. But the trade-off is you have to fuss with the formula. Buy at your own risk. So that's a little bit too much for me. I'm gonna use this MAC Powder Kiss and make love to the camera. And I'm just gonna dab this on the inside center to kind of cool down my lip a little bit. And then I blend it out, and now you can see I've toned it down significantly. We made it. This is probably going to be a bit of a long video just because of how many steps it took for me to get here, but I will call this done. Okay, so I added some cute little accessories. I don't know if I did this right. I'm not really an accessories person, but I really want to get into it because I always see so many people with such beautiful makeup photos, and it's because they have a ton of accessories in their hair and stuff, so I want to try too. She's being bad. Yes, you are guilty. You are very guilty. I know. Look how guilty you are. She has a little soul patch. It's very cute. So I kind of wanted to try adding some accessories. I don't really know if they match. This look was going to be a little bit pinker and rosier and like more valentine-y than it ended up being, so that's why I had these picked out. But I mean, we'll just pretend. I mean, it matches my lip, I guess. So I'm learning. So for now, I guess I'm just flower head. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think you kind of can enjoy seeing my process, especially when things don't always go the way I expected or things take an unexpected turn. It's fun to see how I kind of can recover from that or what I choose to do. So I hope this kind of gives you guys some inspiration on how to make your own looks and how to maybe salvage your own mistakes. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!